Hi YouTube, and this is JTrain997, and I'm back this time with my review of the Batman Legacy 2-pack, Batman Arkham City, Batman and Two-Face. So, of course, Batman Legacy has been online for about a month now. Still haven't found it in any stores, but did manage to grab this 2-pack offline, and it is awesome. Despite the fact we're getting a DC Direct Arkham City line, which, knowing DC Direct will be a year after the game is out, these are our first Arkham City figures. Of course, you got Batman there, and a very nice looking Two-Face. Two-Face, main reason I bought this bought this figure set. Of course, speaking of packaging, which I am very impressed with this. I mean, it's a very nice looking blister card. There's quite a read-up for both of them, and I'm not going to waste your time reading it. So if you want to, you can freeze it and read it yourself. But a very nice picture on the back here. With that being said, enough about the packaging, however awesome it may be. Let's open these bad boys up. And here we have both Batman and Two-Face out of packaging. Now we'll be looking at Batman first. And I've got to admit, I wasn't too crazy about it. I was like, oh, well, another Batman to add to my collection. Not to mention there's a single-carded Batman in the first line, and he doesn't appear at first glance to be all that different from this guy. But I've got to admit, having him here in hand, there's a lot of really nice detail that you can't appreciate until he's actually here and you're not just staring at a picture online. They did some very nice work with his cowl. You can actually see there's a kind of a texture to all of his costume that really makes it look like kind of a Kevlar body armor, which is really nice. Of course, he's got the gauntlets. Really nice bat belt, or utility belt, rather. Yeah, I really love the design they've given him in both Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. They've also done a really good job on the cape. It's long enough to drag the ground, but it doesn't hinder articulation. Unless, I guess, yeah, it's even soft enough to kind of bend out. So if you wanted him crouching, it wouldn't be a big deal. Now, speaking of Batman's articulation, he does a full 360 at the head, as well as some up and down. Has an ab crunch down here. Doesn't appear to turn at the waist. Arms are on a ball joint, and the cape doesn't really hinder any of that movement at all. So, spins at the bicep, single joint at the elbow. The gauntlets are kind of hindering how far up he can bend. That's pretty much it. And he spins at the wrist. So, that's pretty nice. Same for both arms, of course. Legs forward, back, out. Spin at the quadricep, single joint at the knee, and have an ankle joint. So some really nice articulation. It's unfortunate that we didn't get any accessories with this guy. I mean, anything at all would have been good, but seeing as both his hands are closed in a fist, it wouldn't have really mattered. That being said, let's actually go on to Two-Face. And here we have Two-Face out of packaging, and he is a great looking figure. You can see they did a wonderful job on that head sculpt. Just really some nice damage, looks like scar tissue. Over on the Harvey Dent side's very nice. They didn't do much with the actual coin, as you can see there. One side is blank and the other is just very lightly scratched. But on the suit they also did a really great job. It looks burned, it's got some holes in it. You can see bits of skin. This entire arm is missing the suit sleeve and it's all burned. He's got a watch on for God knows what reason on his scarred arm, rather. But yeah. The detail on this guy is really fantastic. It's the main reason I bought this pack. So, as far as articulation, Harvey Dent, or Two-Face, goes left and right of the head. Looks like you've actually got a full 360 in there. Some up and down. Surprisingly enough, the arms are very, very stiff to have first come out of packaging. I started moving this arm, and it's actually still doing it. And as I move it, it looks like it wants to separate right here instead of actually just moving, so you got to be kind of careful, and I'm afraid to force it into any articulation, but it doesn't appear that the arms go out at all. They just do a full 360. They spin at the bicep, are single jointed at the elbow, and spin at the wrist. Same for both arms. Now, there's no adamant articulation, or if there is, the suit is hindering it. The legs, however, do maintain the full range of movement, although a tiny bit hindered by the jacket. Forward, back, out. Spin at the quadricep, are single jointed at the knee, and it appears that his suit is hindering his ankle movement. So, not a ton of articulation on Two-Face, but at the same time, I wasn't too, Articulation wasn't the main reason I was buying this guy. It was the impressive sculpt, and he definitely delivers on that. Now, I would have preferred that they maybe gave us a gun. Like, instead of just having his hand open, have swapped it out to be holding a gun. But, that's no big deal in the long run. He's an amazing looking figure. He's definitely worth the purchase of this pack alone. And, that being said, let's go into a final thoughts on this pack. And here we have Batman stepping on Two-Face's neck. I couldn't resist. Too much fun. So, the Batman Legacy line at the time I'm making this video, I have not seen in stores. It's out online pretty decently. I got this pack off BigBadToyStore.com. Cost me right around 30 bucks. Now, I'm not crazy about the fact that DC Universe and, you know, most of Mattel charges 30 bucks for a 2-pack. I'm a child of the 90s. That seems like a little bit much to me, but these are both fantastic figures. At first, I wasn't crazy about this Batman, but the look of him in hand is absolutely amazing. All the texture and detailing they've done on him. Easily one of my favorite Batmans from Mattel. The Two-Face figure looks absolutely amazing as well. I'm ashamed we couldn't have gotten a gun or a little more detailing on the coin, but the rest of him is fantastic. So, I highly suggest, if you're a Batman fan, if you're as amped for Arkham City as I am, go online, buy these guys, get them in your collection, because you gotta have them. And that means that this is JTrain997, and I'll see you soon, YouTube.